Hi guys, today let's play a bit with Fusion. I'm gonna show you how to change a normal looking shot like this into something that looks epic and stunning and even unreal, like so. So without further ado, let's begin. As you see, my original clip is already color graded. It was in S-Log3, but today we are not gonna focus on color grading because the tutorial would be too long.
You're goddamn right.
So once your clip is already graded, all you need to do is to jump to Fusion. By the way, if you want to follow along, I got this clip on my Ko-fi page, download for free. So in case you want to practice with me, be my guest. So first, let's start to add some stars so that the sky is not so black. Got lots of black areas, the image looks empty. So let's try to add stars, a moon, reflection of the moon, and we will also replace the waves because it looks too dark. In my opinion, nothing happens in this area. So to create stars, I decided to use particles. So just grab P emitter from this menu and P render. In P emitter, what I did was I changed the region from sphere to rectangle. So the field where particles will be created are in between such a rectangle. Change the size of it, of course, and let me place it somewhere here. I need to adjust the height as well. So yeah, let's say something like this. This is more or less correct. Don't worry that your lighthouse is in the middle, is on top. You can deal with it later, or you can even leave it like that because stars will be barely seen on the sky and the lighthouse is really bright, so it won't be visible. Let's leave it like that, okay?
Okay.
So we got already the area where our particles will appear. Now connected with the p-render, let me preview my p-render on the left, so tap 1. First, what we're gonna change is output mode to 2D, and I'm gonna also increase pre-generate frames to the max, to 100. Okay, we already see some particles here that looks more or less like stars, but what I'm gonna do also is in P emitter, in style, I guess it was in style, let's correct the fade controls so that not all particles are bright at the same level. If you increase the in, you can actually control how far, what are the differences between those particles. I think it's hardly visible on your screen. If I zoom, you can see these particles. And what we're gonna do is to merge it over our clip, like so. It's more or less ready, but what I like to do is to mask it with gradient so that stars that are closer to the horizon are less visible. Just pick up the background node, switch to gradient, let me preview it on the left, and you need to change alpha to 0. So in here the stars are visible and they're becoming less and less visible to the left, so we need to change the direction of our gradient, like so, and mask it. So use your background gradient as a mask and connect it with the merge blue input. I need to correct my gradient. Yeah, it looks much more natural and realistic now. So we've replaced the sky. Actually, we've added some particles to imitate stars. That looks pretty cool. Okay, let's add the moon. So first, what I need is my background node. I will change the color to white. And I'm gonna mask it with ellipse mask. Of course, I need to change the size of it. Let me preview it on the left as well. And let's merge it over to our composition. Okay. Once you select the background node, you can add a transform node from here. And you can further customize its settings like size, position. Let's say it's somewhere here. We can add a glow to it as well. So after you select the transform node, open selection tool, shift space and search for glow. And right now we got nice glowing moon, but you need to check alpha limits in the inspector, because if not, you lose the rest of the image. So let's say the moon is more or less ready. We're gonna also replace the texture of it, so it's not so bright, so it's not overexposed like that. I got my moon picture already downloaded. Just drag and drop it to our nodes panel. We need preview on the left. And what we need to do is, actually we will merge it after our transform node. So let's pick it like that and drag and drop it to the output of the transform node, like so. And now let's preview this merged node on the left. So as you see, we need to mask our moons, so it's only the circle. So select the media with the moon and choose ellipse mask. You can change the size of it, of course, like so. And in here with the media into selected, add another transform node so that you are able to place it on top of our moon. And of course you need to adjust the size. Let's make it slightly smaller so that we don't lose our glow effect. Okay, it's pretty much ready. So we've got our moon and sky ready. Now let's replace the waves. That was actually really easy. I just searched for a sea waves texture that looks like this. And yeah, again, just drag and drop it to your nodes panel and preview my media in my media with my sea waves on the left. And let's merge it over our composition. Now, the waves are too big, so fortunately this image is much bigger than our timeline, so I can add a transform node and decrease the size. So right now the structures of the waves are smaller and will match better our original image. But it's covering our whole image, so we want to mask it as well. So select our last merge node and choose polygon. Okay. And now what you need to do is mask the sea that you want to replace. You can correct it afterwards as well. So don't worry if you're not precise. I will also add some soft edge to it. As I said, you don't need to be super precise with that. While you're practicing it on your own, you can be more precise. I don't want to make this tutorial too long, so let's say this is correctly masked. What we need to do now is to make the sea texture to look more 3D-ish. To do that, we don't actually need to go to 3D. We can imitate it with the DVE node. Let me show you. Tap the transform node and from the selection tool, search for something that's called DVE. And in here, you can actually try to imitate 3D rotation, like this X rotation. And you can further customize how it should look, how it should be positioned actually and rotated. So this is before, this is after. It looks much more 3D-ish and more natural now. But what about the color of this this image? It's not working at all because this is night and we got a picture from the day. That also can be easily corrected. Just select DVE and add color corrector node. In color corrector node, decrease saturation, because at night you barely see colors, and brightness. Okay, oh, that's visible. I will maybe disable this preview and make it as a single viewer. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. Pretty cool. We've replaced, let me show you that on full screen. Yeah, a bigger screen actually. So we've replaced the sky, we've added some stars, we've added the moon. That's too big, but you can play with it on your own. And we've replaced the sea, which looks pretty sick and cool. But if we play it, look what happens. We need to do some tracking as well, because this lighthouse is moving. Actually, we are moving. The shot was taken from the ship, so the whole image is moving. So we need to track our sea as well. So let's go back to our Fusion page. Right after your original media in, add planar tracker from the selection tool. Okay, we got planar tracker. In planar tracker, click set to mark the current reference time. And you can of course try different motion types and so on. But in this very case, in this very example, what I did was translation rotation. And I selected roughly the lighthouse, like so. And now what you need to do is track to end. Then remember to click go and track to beginning. Okay, the tracker successfully tracked the lighthouse, because we want to match the move of the sea to how the lighthouse was moving. Hope that makes sense. I got another video explaining a bit planar tracker, so check it out also after this tutorial. But right now, what we did should be working for you. Okay, once done, you need to create planar transform node, so click this button and you will create additional nodes like this, which is called planar transform. Now disconnect your planar tracker, so hold shift and drag it away. You won't need it right now. And use this planar tracker. Actually, you need to place it between, because we want this polygon to move like this lighthouse, and also we want our waves, our texture to move the same way. We need to place this planar transform between the merge and color corrector, so simply hold shift and place it over the line until it turns into blue and release. Okay, like so. And we need another planar transform, so make a copy of it, simple Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. But now, to make this polygon to move the same way as our lighthouse, we need to disconnect this polygon. And we need to connect it with our planar transform, but with this yellow input. And finally, you can connect the output of the planar transform with this merge node. So right now, our mask and our texture should move the same way as our lighthouse. Let's see. So I need to preview my media out again. No, something is wrong. Why? Let me check it. Okay, I just need to correct my mask. So I just selected the polygon. I corrected the whole mask. It's very easy, like so. And right now, if I play it, as you see, it's very slow because I'm recording and my PC is not as powerful as it should be. But you can, to speed up the Fusion page, you can try to disable high quality and motion blur. So right click on this panel and disable these two options. Okay, it's not better. But if I jump through the timeline, you see that it's moving away, it's moving along. And in here I got an issue because my mask is actually too narrow. That's not a problem. You can, as you see, we've got the mask bigger than our original scene, so I can make it bigger like so. That's not an issue. And right now, if I check it out, the mask is wide enough, so even though it's moving to the right, we are not have issue with too small masks. So right now, the whole image is moving like so. Cool. Next step would be, because this is only a texture of the sea, it's static. We want to animate it. So we're gonna use for that very well known fast noise. So just drag it from this panel. Let me open double viewer again and preview the fast noise on the left. Of course, we need to further customize it because right now I will disable media out for now, so do not slow down the preview. Because if we play it right now, it's static, it's not moving, so you need to increase the shift rate a bit, not too much because we don't want the waves to move too fast. And what I did was I increased the scale and a bit of contrast and details maybe not. Let me check it. And what we need also is dissolve node. So from the selection tool again, search for dissolve, displace. Displace node, of course. And you need to connect it like so. Fast noise connect to the green input, and yellow input need to be connected with our color corrector. So let me disconnect that and connect our color corrector of our sea waves texture. So if you preview displays on the right and play it, you should see one more thing. Sorry, I'm distracted today. In displays node, go to inspector and change type to X and Y and add some X refraction and Y refraction. And now if you preview it, you should see this image moving. Let me increase it. So let me go to the extreme so that you see what I'm talking about. Of course, it's too strong right now, but I will leave it just a tiny bit above a 0. Same for Y. Maybe right now you don't see it because, but if I jump along the timeline, you see that it's changing the shape. So it makes impression to be moving. Okay, I think it's too strong, so let me decrease it. Don't go too far because it won't be looking natural. And now what you need to do is to connect it back to our planar transform, but this time this whole, not only our texture but also our displays node, which is responsible for this nice animation. So drag the output and connect it with the yellow input of our planar transform, and we should be good as far as waves imitation is concerned. So what we did was stars, the moon, and we've replaced the waves. And last but not least, let's jump to the color page to add these ray lights and moon reflection on the water. So let me disable that and open color page. I will close clips to make more room. Let me add more serial nodes just in case. So in this serial node, I will create a power window and I will select my lighthouse. Do it like so. If you tap Shift H, you can see exactly what the power window is selecting. Then you need to track it. So go to tracker and click track forward and reverse. Power window tracked. So let me disable the highlight mode, and from the effect, search for light rays, increase the length and change the position of the light. I decrease saturation to 0 and I added some boost to the brightness, like so. We got our light rays ready. But what I did also was I keyframed the position of the lights so it looks as if the lighthouse was actually working and was giving us some kind of signal. So once you're at the beginning of the clip here, create a keyframe by clicking this diamond so it turns to red. Then go to the end of the clip and change the position Maybe something like this. That will create automatically the second keyframe. So right now, if you play it, as you see, the light rays are nicely animated. That's one thing. Another thing what I did was these reflections of the moon. So let me create a parallel node here. So click the last serial node and tap Alt P. That will create a parallel node. And in the parallel node, I will also use a power window, and I will place it over the C structure where I think we will see this this nice reflection. So something like this. And what I did was I just used something that's called Edge Detect, but I switched it to grayscale, and I checked Edge Mask Overlay. And right now you can play with edge, width, brightness, gamma, and so on. So it looks natural, right? In filters, I think I changed the half edges only to keep light side, and it looks already much better. So this is how it looks before and after. And this is it, guys. As you see, a couple of steps in Fusion and in Color Page, and the shot looks much better than original one. You can download this clip for free from my Ko-fi page if you want to practice alone. Hope you learned something. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out upcoming tutorials. Cheers and see you in the next one.